Hi everybody, I'm back for chapter 2. And in this chapter, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alinka Angilova. I'm a writer, director, and producer from Barrie, Ontario. So just a little bit about me. Before I go into that, I just want to let everyone know what I'm doing and reiterate it again. I am documenting my journey to Broadway. I haven't gotten there yet, so I'm not documenting something in a past tense. I'm actually doing it now. I'm doing it live, and I'm documenting and creating chapters or chronicles of where I am trying to get to. It almost sounds impossible, but I know it's possible. So I'm just gonna, record myself on my journey there. So I'll also talk about where I am, the places I go, the things I've tried, the things I am trying, and you're gonna be there with me. And just to let everyone know that I didn't let you know in my last video, I have been wanting to document this journey for years now. I'm kind of happy I kind of didn't start before because I'm not there yet, but I just decided that now is the time. I've finally gotten the courage to do this, so I am documenting it now. Now, let me get into a little bit about me, just so you know a little bit of a history about me and about who I am. I'm a wife and mother of 4. I have 6 amazing siblings. We lost my handsome dad in 2018. And then we lost my incredible, loving, and beautiful mother in 2020. And my family, we've always been a very close-knit family that supports one another. And I give all that credit to God. Because he blessed us with a mother that, like no other, who loved and guided us and kept us as a family for so many years. And a passionate father who taught us how to never settle or give up on our dreams. So both of them together just made us who we are today. And my siblings can attribute to that too. And along the way, you may meet some of my siblings. I don't know what the future holds, but it's not promised, but I can tell you that in everything I do, they're always involved. So they're always right by my side. They're my #1 supporters, and I think you'll love them. They're really personable and nice people. They're like me. We're really a lot alike. And I know that right now they're definitely supporting what I'm doing. So now, ever since I was a child, I've always been into creating and writing and developing things. I can't even tell you how young I was. I can go even back to 4 years old. I was just doing things that I didn't even know what I was doing half the time. I remember when I was young, I used to gather kids and putting them into mini groups and creating mini shows. And now when I say show, I actually didn't even realize that that's what I was doing. So I would say to them, let's play school or let's play church. And then I would get them in groups together. And by the end of the school day, we would be singing, dancing, and acting, believe it or not. And a lot of them who know me, that they're older now, they can actually tell you that's very true. I don't know why. When I'd go to different schools, I'd always want to create singing groups. And I just loved the group thing. It wasn't necessarily the group thing. It was more of the performance and all the creating combined that I really loved. And especially when I got the kids into groups and I let them perform stuff, I didn't know that I was writing and directing a musical. I didn't know that I was doing. I just knew that whatever I was doing, I loved it, and that's all I could think about. So when I'd watch dancers in their element on TV or something, and I watched them how they expressed their emotions through their dance and through their movement, I loved that. The only thing is that I couldn't watch it continuously for hours. That was okay, that's enough. It needs more. I would watch movies and I would take certain scenes and I would act them up myself on my own privately, in the privacy of my room or something. And I I would act out the different characters, and sometimes I would recreate the scene and make it a little different, and I love that. I would go to plays and I would watch plays. Like, if I watch a play in theater, I would love the play and I would love the acting. Like, the acting moved me, but I'd always be like, I wish there was like a little bit more singing or some kind of music or something. I don't know why. That just showed me that where my mind was. I know this is rare. Like, I really had a love for musical theater. And then one day it really sealed the deal. Like, even before this, like, sometimes I was singing to myself. I'd sing in private or act in private, or I'd make up my own dance stuff, but one day, what really sealed it was, when I was young, we used to go to this church, and the church had like a sister church. So they would come and we'd congregate and we'd have these big events or whatever. And this one church came to our church and we knew the people there well. And I was only like 9 or 10, and they brought up this little girl. She was about 8 or 9. I just know that she was a year younger than me. I just don't remember the exact age I was. And oh my God, the voice that came out of this little 9-year-old, 9-year-old girl, I'll say. I was so shocked. Like, I never even knew that anyone could sing like that. And I remember looking at her and I was like, God, I want to be that. And I didn't mean I wanted to be her. I meant like, I was in love with the art of it. I wanted that with whatever I do. And I was so intrigued by her. And I will say her name because, man, she needs this credit because this girl was phenomenal. Her name was Janice Williams. Till this day, she doesn't even know this story. She doesn't know that she's a very fond memory in my mind for what I do today. And if you saw how the church reacted to this little girl, I'm telling you, if she was 9 at this time and America's Got Talent was on, you guys wouldn't even believe the voice that came out of this little girl. Till this day, I don't think I've ever heard anyone sing like she did. I have never heard a voice like that ever again in my life. That good at that young age. And I remember hearing her and I was like, oh my God. As a young child, I was like, I have to be her friend. I just knew, like, I like fell in love with her. I'm like, I have to be her friend. And I don't even remember how we became friends, but I just know that we did. And I'm pretty sure it could have been me that initiated that friendship. I don't know if we just in passing ended up talking, because it didn't happen till like months later that months or even years later that I actually started talking with her. And yeah, we became friends, and and of course over the years we weren't like super close, but we would visit each other at each other's houses in the summertime, and and I realized that she was just another little girl just like me, but she just had the most incredible talent that I'd ever seen in my life. And Janice, I still wish you all the best. I think she's amazing. She's still here today, and I'm sure she's still singing. But I hope that they have a video of her singing when she was that age, because nobody would believe me if I just told you. You've never heard anything like this in your life. Anyhow, so of course I was intrigued by her, and like I said, I wasn't intrigued by the attention she got or anything. I wasn't about that. It was just about the art. I just want to show how much love I had for this musical theater since I was a baby. And it's not just me wanting to just do something that I think is beautiful. No, it's in me. It's a part of me. So that's also why I need to get there, and I need to show people what I have inside and what I have to offer. Before I saw Janice, I was also, like I said, privately singing on my own, trying to perfect something that I don't know if I was born with it. I think God just gave me a little bit of a singing talent and a little bit of dancing and acting just so I could create what I wanted in my mind. I really think that was the point of it. My real talent is in the writing and the directing. That's my real talent. So during this time that I was actively practicing in my room of whatever, I really amused myself. I was a kid that could never get bored because I was always creating in my mind, by myself, with my dolls, with my little brother. My little brother Ryan, I would always like make him do all these little shows and stuff. And he loved it, no matter what he says now. He loved it. He's a tech guy now, but he loved it. So in this time, two of my older brothers, Robert and Don, they were always rehearsing stuff. They were creating. They write songs too. Robert is the musician. He can play any instrument in any key. He even created his own program online called Any Key Music System. It's a program that teaches people to play by ear. And he has clients all over the world that learn. And I'm not just talking just basic. Like, he's like the modern day Mozart. Like, he's incredible. He even created his own like music system. Like, you know when you read sheet music, he created his own sheet music, a different kind, and his students actually use it. Isn't that incredible? But anyway, my brother Don as well. My brother Don, he writes songs too. They both write songs. Robert plays music. Don also writes movies and he writes scripts. They're super, super talented. And I'm not just talking about mediocre talent. I'm talking about top-notch talent, okay? We're a very undiscovered family. So they were playing and they were rehearsing. They had no idea that I was even singing at all. They really didn't know. And one day my brother Jerome, Don, he was playing his guitar. Like, he played a little bit. So he was on a guitar and he was playing. And he just randomly, it was so weird, he stopped and he was like, Alinka, can you sing? And I was like, yeah. I just said, yeah. I think I was 10 years old. Not I think, I know I was 10 years old. I was in grade 5. And he's like, really? He's like, sing something for me. And I remember I was really excited and nervous because I knew that I was practicing and nobody knew it. And I wanted him to hear me. But I remember anyways, I was excited because I wanted him to hear me, but I was scared at the same time. And I did it anyway because I was like, this is your chance, Alinka. You got to let your brothers hear that you can sing. And so at that moment, I just took that opportunity and I was like, and I remember the song I sang. I remember it so clearly. Someday I'll be free. Someday I'll be free. I'll be free from heartaches. No more sickness will there be, unless someday I'll be free. I mean, that's not exactly how I sang it. I sang it as a 10-year-old child, but a 10-year-old child who had a little bit of a voice. But I just remember that like it was yesterday. And I remember right after I sang, the reaction that I got from him is nothing I expected. He was like so excited, like beyond excited. He ran out. He got all my brothers and sisters. He's like, oh my God, Alinka can sing. Alinka can sing. I was like, I remember this. He brought all my brothers and sisters in and they all sat down and I remember my mom, I'm pretty sure my mom was in the room. My dad is at work. And they came in and they listened to me sing. And it was probably one of the most amazing moments of my life. after I sang, they all cheered and they started hugging me. And it was honestly like a Hallmark movie moment. Like, you wouldn't believe it unless you saw it. And I'll never forget it. And since that day, my family's support has never stopped. Like, never stopped. They are my biggest fans in everything I do. Like, guys, when I'm on this vlog, the things that I tell you about are usually going to be like the most important times of my life. Like, things, like parts of my life that made a huge difference and has helped me in this journey that I'm taking right now. So just so you know that little part. Then shortly after I sang to my brothers and sisters, my two brothers, Robert and Don, they started grooming me for performances. They're working on my stage presence, my vocals, my harmonies. I say harmonies because, oh my gosh. As a child, I'm learning to do harmonies. Why did my brothers have to give me the hardest harmony ever, like ever, to first learn? It was so hard that I started crying. Like, I mean crying, because it was too hard. I thought I would never get it. And you know what? When I think about that, when I finally got it, I thank them for that so much. Because that one bit of harmony in that one song has prepared me for times like this. After that, it's almost like I was practicing my harmonies. I would listen to the radio and I would sing and harmonize with the people singing. And as I got older, when I got my girl group, I would tell them the harmonies. I could teach the harmonies. It's like, it has helped me so much. Even in recording my written songs now, I can just harmonize like there's nobody's business. I cannot go off key. Sometimes I can be a little flat, but I can't go off key. Robert, Don, thank you so much for that. Thank you. It helped me so much. Up till this time, like even when I was in high school, like I never gone to a musical. I think I went to go first I seen Sunset Boulevard, but even till now, I still don't really remember it. But I remember going to, like, even watching online, like like a musical, and how the musical ran and the order of it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm doing that. I'm actually doing that. That's why I mean, like, when I really believe that it was a natural God-given talent, because I was writing musicals in the right order, the way it's supposed to be, the whole, like the outline of it, even before I even knew what I was doing. So that's why I truly believe that I'm going in the right direction with this. I mean, of course, if it was up to my family, we're a very sporty family. They would have loved it if I would have done track or something, which I was good in track too. But when I got to high school and I discovered musicals, oh my God, it was over. That was it. I was done. Like, that was it. That was my thing. And I never stopped. And I was just in awe of musicals. And even then, I still didn't get a chance to go see any musicals in theaters. I don't know why. Maybe I didn't really, like, my parents didn't really know where to send me. Like, if they would have known, if what I know now of what I know then, I would have gone to like a musical theater school or something like that, to where I can practice those talents and work on it. I ended up going to York University, and I went to their theater program, but I didn't realize that there wasn't any music in it. It was just theater and theory. So, I mean, York University is a wonderful university. Like, it's a beautiful campus. It's a great place to go. It's just, it wasn't for me because it didn't have what I was looking for. Even like, I remember I wrote 2 exams. And this is in my first year. I wrote 2 exams, and then before I could write the other 2 exams, I got a call from Paramount because I went and auditioned to be on a cruise line. And they called me and they're like, can you leave in 24 hours? I was like, hell yeah. That was crazy. So I remember I didn't even finish those last 2 exams. I know, don't follow my footsteps if, you know. I'm a very spontaneous person. So I was like, I'm going, this is what I want to do. This is what I want. And at this point, also, I have to remind you, I mean, not remind you, but let you know that at this point, I was just I wanted to perform. And I mainly wanted to perform because I wanted to save money, make money performing so I could use it for my shows. but I was really into performing, and I thought that was the way. I have to perform. I got to get across the world. I got to go to New York. I got to do this. And that was my goal at the time. Not only until I reached like in my mid-20s did I realize that, Lincoln, no, you're a director. You're a writer, director. You're a producer. Yes, I love performing and I do it well. But my heart is in the directing. My heart is in the producing and the writing. So everything that I've pursued in my life has always been about Broadway. When I went into, reality shows, when I was working on the cruise line, a few years ago, I started my own hair product line. Some people have said, oh, Lincoln, well, sometimes she does this and she does this, but everything that I've ever done was always for the show. I always thought maybe if I did this and I could save enough money, then I can do this myself. And just so you know that I was trying in other ways. Like I have contacted different companies, big companies. I will mention which ones in my later videos and stuff and things that they said, but they never accepted me. I don't know. I don't blame them. I'm sure they get a lot of like messages and emails from people, packages from people all the time, and I don't expect them to just take some unknown person. But I just wish one of them would have given it a chance. Just one chance. I just wanted them to see it. Just to see it for themselves so they can see the potential. Never got that. That's okay. I'll tell you about one though. It was a music company and co. And it's a big musical theater company in Toronto. And I remember writing one of the directors or producers. I remember writing to him, and I don't know, for some reason, I just thought that they're gonna like me. I always think that. I'll tell you. I always go into everything being really optimistic. And I thought, okay, this is it. They have to take me. I know at least he's gonna wanna see my work. Well, was I wrong? Boy, was I wrong. I remember he wrote me back, and because I did tell him that I write, direct, and I've been producing my own shows. And when he wrote back, it wasn't that he was nasty about it. He wasn't really. He just said, well, Alinka, there's only 3 people in the world that can do what you say you can do. And that's like Louis Manuel, and he named 2 more people. I only remember Louis Manuel. I think his work is fantastic. And it was so funny when he said that, because I was like, I'm pretty sure I gotta go back to the emails and find it. I've been trying to find it, but I can't. And I said, but I'm one of those people too. If 3 people in the world can do it, that's 3 people out of how many millions? That means there are thousands of people that can do what I do and do what you say that most people can't do. And not only can I write and direct and produce, I can choreograph. I can write film. There's so many things. I just think that, sometimes it's so hard to give unknown people a chance, but I think it's possible. Just at least look at their work. At least see what I have to offer before you judge me. So anyways, that was one, but I can tell you 100 stories of me getting turned down. And I remember when my mom was here, she'd tell me, Linka, just do it yourself. And I'm like, but how? I need money. How? And I remember researching on how to bring musicals, get your musical to Broadway. This famous producer, I can't find the link anymore. I tried to look for it to go over it again. And I just remember him saying, just do your show. Just do it over and over and over again, as many times as you can. He goes, if you can't find actors, get your family, get your friends, get your neighbors, put the show together and just keep doing the show. So I did that. I kept doing my shows. I'll tell you more about my shows in another chapter. My main one was Mute the Musical. I was doing Mute the Musical. And I've been doing it religiously every year since 2010, aside from 220. And I'm like, okay, nothing's happening. But I mean, I get what he's saying. I have to keep doing it. People always wonder, why do I keep doing it? I don't know, because somebody told me that I should keep doing it. I should keep doing it until somebody notices it. But I really have to take apart from what my mom says. And she says, Alinka, just do it yourself. So I'm taking that. I've been doing it myself. I'm trying to do it myself. But I realize that I'm always going in circles. I've been going in circles. Like I'm getting a little higher, but then I'm staying at this one circle. And like I love my local audiences. I love my local audiences. They're fantastic. But I know that just staying local is not going to get me to the world. And that's where I need to go. So that's why I'm taking a huge risk. The biggest risk of my life, let me tell you. Number one, I'm doing this vlog. That's a risk for me, for my sanity. No, I'm kidding. But I've never once made a profit or really broke even. And I've also never once dared to step in a very large known theater. In 2025, in February, I'll be bringing one of my productions to the Elgin Theatre in Toronto. This will be the biggest risk I have ever taken in my life. And when I say biggest risk, I mean financially. My husband and I are giving everything into this. And I'm not doing it to gain to be famous. I'm doing it because I believe in my work. And I think the world needs this. And I love my work and I want to see it. That's really what I'm doing. And I also want to do it for others I'm sure there's tons of like unknown writers and directors that have amazing work and they just don't know what to do to get it out there. Well, I'm going to try to build a path for that. I'm going to try to change the narrative of that. I've seen unknown artists develop their own stuff online and created their own audience, and they funded their own work, and they made their art, their music, their albums into multi-platinum, is that what it's called? Or they've gained like the world from that on their own. So I don't know anyone who's done it with musical theater. That's my plan. So I'm going to get the ones who are like me, and I'm going to help the ones who are like me, and we're going to do it together. And I'm just going to need a little bit of help from everyone too. I really believe in what I have. I really believe that what I have is something really good. And the only way that someone can see it is if I put it in front of them. If I just tell them about it, they may not get it. But that's why I also want to do it myself, so that I can control over what I put on stage, because I know that what I put on stage is what's going to be the talk of the town. My words are just so corny. Guys, please forgive me. I am trying to just speak to you, and it is very hard for me. So if I make a little mistake, or if I kind of go off on a tangent on something else, please forgive me. I'm just learning at this too. I'm trying to do the best I can. But yeah, so as we go on in this journey to Broadway, we're gonna go together. We're gonna do this together. And you are gonna see me, an unknown person to the industry, Alinka Angulova, succeed. And then I can help build platforms for other directors and writers that need to get a chance to show their work. See you guys in chapter 3.